Hey there, friends. Welcome to the PigCast. As you can see, I'm trying to pour some creamer in my Coke, in my caffeine-free Diet Coke. This is a great start to this particular stream and indicative of how the rest of the stream is probably going to be. I mentioned that I'm hungover, even though that's not necessarily the case. Although yesterday I did have quite a day in terms of drinking. So that's why I decided to title this the Hangover. The Hangover, despite the fact that I'm not hungover now. I was hungover yesterday. Something that you got to learn about drinking in your 30s is when you start drinking at an advanced age like I did, which was 27, the hardships that your body has to go through because it's never dealt with this particular thing until 27. Now I'm 33, and I obviously drink from time to time. Yesterday was one of my friend's birthdays, and you're going to partake in the liquor. And unfortunately, I get hungover now during the drinking process. I get hungover while I'm drinking, which isn't a good thing. And like an absolute idiot, I think to myself, hey, you know what? I'm just going to have a banana, an apple, some magnesium, some zinc. And then I'm going to go out and have 5 Bloody Marys, 2 mimosas, some beer, just have a lot of terrible liquor for you. And I end up coming back to my abode and immediately eating, which is not a good thing. You should have eaten throughout your drinking experience. And I chose to eat after the fact. And I'm slamming down hash browns that I made for myself, some turkey, some eggs, some cheese on it, trying to consume some food. And the thing that happens when you try to do that is your body's going into essentially what is shock, because you're giving it this nutrition that it's been lacking after giving it nothing but poison for the past couple hours. And I yacked it out. I summarily yacked it all out. So whatever food I put in, I kept throwing up. Now, recently, one thing that I've noticed is when I throw up, it's little baby vomits. It's like and then that's it. So that's as fast as it is. I feel it come up, a little bit of a throw up, whatever. This is America, right?
What kind of America is this? Yes, put it on Facebook.
That didn't work. That didn't work as well as I did. So I instead decide to partake in this food, and I projectile vomited for approximately 5 seconds. Just a 5-second stream of vomit that I was counting in my head, and I was astonished as to how much I could vomit in one go. However, I don't want to keep talking about vomit because that's pretty disgusting. I spent $200 on Mike's Hard Lemonade, tall boys for me and a friend. I wanted to die this morning. I had to get on a train at 9:32. 9:32 or 9:30 as well. I know a lot. I'm fucking up all the drops here today, by the way. That's an extra one. But I just ended up projectile vomiting for 5 seconds straight. Just a combination of Bloody Mary, hash brown, eggs, turkey, just all right in the toilet. Then I try to fall asleep, and of course, what happens? What's going on? This right here is happening. So I think I'm, of course, dying, even though I have to convince myself that I'm not trying to perish. And I keep vomiting throughout the night, and eventually I wake up feeling like an absolute fucking god. But it took a while to get there, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going back to being straight edge. I'm not drinking anymore. I'm done with it. I'm sorry. Maybe I might have the sporadic beer every once in a while, but no. I need to be better to my body, and having beer and liquor like I did yesterday is not worth it. I didn't even have a good time. I was just hungover during. Imagine I'm drinking and I'm hungover while I'm hanging out talking to some friends. That's lame. You don't want to do that, especially early on in the morning having brunch. No, thank you. It's not a good thing. And my chest hurts from vomiting so much. That's the other part. My titties actually are a little bit sore from the excessive vomit, which isn't a good thing. We have an action-packed episode, as we usually do here on the PigCast. As I've probably mentioned on every other stream, this is a magic channel. However, we like to get into things that aren't magic-related, just because it shows you that there are more important things in life than just magic tricks. So if you're here because maybe you're like, whoa, look, Piggy's streaming, I'm talking about more important things. Although here's something that I found in my drawer the other day, which is kind of cool. It's magic. It's a magic trick. This thing This is dope. If you're a virgin, you're familiar with what this is. It's a lighter, but it has little things that you could press your fingers on. So you could get little blisters. So for example, if I press it on this, I get a 3 and a heart, which is kind of cool. So I found that in a drawer. That's not bad. That's not too bad. Kind of virgin-y. So I want to see how that works. Obviously, you have to force a card, which is kind of lame. That implies that you have cards on you. But still, for that, that's kind of dope. Kind of a cool thing. I have it in 2 sizes. You have it in small. And so you have it in regular and piggy. In piggy size. You get it? Because I'm a small pigga. This is not going to be one of the good streams. I'm feeling it now. I'm starting to just fucking understand that this isn't going to be one of my better ones. I've mentioned this before. Sometimes I get a feeling as to certain streams. At the end of them, I'm like, man, I wish I could have done a better job in that stream. I didn't drop as many bangers as I usually do. This one is one of those. I'm letting you know this is going to be a shitty stream. But blame my activities yesterday. And also, I'm annoyed that I'm getting notifications from people. I don't like that. Especially while I'm trying to provide entertaining content. Have you ever considered going to Rumble, bringing back the OG Piggy? Well, I'm streaming on Rumble concurrently, right? And I also upload all my videos to Rumble, and it's not doing well. So I don't know what it is about that particular algorithm, but they don't happen to share videos unless you happen to bring an audience from a different platform. So that's kind of one of the bummers of that. But OG Piggy will still get me in trouble. Doesn't matter if I, and OG Piggy is not really much different. I really haven't changed too much. The only difference is that now I'm showing the face and I'm making less jokes about blacks. But apart from that, it's still the good old same Piggy. Hey Piggy, I found a mat that says, I took a huge shit at Taco Bell. Oh yeah, I forgot, maybe you were asking about the Taco Bell bath mat. Somebody sent that to me out a while ago. And it's a mat that you could just put on a table. But it's a bath mat. So you could, spread your cards on it, whatever you want, but it's a bath mat from Taco Bell. It's not even a really good one. It's a low pixel quality. But we have some hot topics here. We're going to go through nails. What the fuck did I write? Nails. Oh, okay, nails. Now I remembered. See, I'm telling you, it's not going to be a good show. Karate Kid, I mentioned this on the last live stream. In regards to if you are going to get in a street fight and you're going to pretend to know some sort of martial arts, you better know what you're talking about. You better back that claim up. So here we're going to go to a video that's ancient Chinese secret. But, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Boy. You know one thing that I love about Amber Alerts is that they get you with notifications as if I'm going to put on a cape and just dive into my motorcycle and try to find this fucking person. My fucking goodness, that shook me up. I'm not well. Again, this is not going to be one of the good ones, so I'm letting you guys know ahead of time. Some other stuff, rejection and reward. So we have some action-packed topics, but I'm letting you know that my conveying of these topics are going to be abysmal. As a matter of fact, I don't know where to start. Maybe with nails. I'll probably start with nails, seeing that this is kind of a hottie that dropped the thing, as you're going to see now. And I really need to see some hotties to get me reinvigorated and into this particular program. Larry Isley says, Piggy trying to pull a Dylan Mulvaney on Budweiser. What's a Budweiser shirt? It's not a Bud Light shirt. Although if you look here, that's a Bud Light hat that I got from AutoZone. I got that before, the whole incident. I had a couple Bud Lights over the weekend watching a UFC fight. Not bad. Not a terrible light beer. But unfortunately, among the circles of friends that I happen to have, if you hold a Bud Light in your hand, you're going to get made fun of. So I took it on the chin, and there was, no other light beer in the fridge. And I knew that I had a day of drinking the next day, so I decided to partake in the water that is Bud Light. Chris Ramsey made a second channel focusing on aliens. That's interesting, I got to tell you, from puzzles to aliens. I know he's been on that heavy on Twitter. It's kind of an interesting transition from that. But I imagine it's the same amount of drugs that it takes to do puzzle stuff and alien stuff. Where's the Magic Buzz? I feel like the Magic Buzz has a good take on that. He seems like a guy that's really into aliens, and Bob Lazar and Alex Jones and the Spice. So let's actually transition smoothly right into this particular first video. So this is... Boy. We're starting off mega strong, boys. It doesn't compare to when I showed you my entire desktop. But, it's still pretty good. I got to tell you, let's go back. There you go. So this is one of those security cameras that you see in like fucking Target or whatever. And this, I was asking, as a matter of fact, a chick today about her nails because she was typing on her phone like this because she didn't want to hit it with her nails. So I was asking, how do you live with that? Like, how do you wipe your butt? And the answer is you have a hard time doing it. Okay, so a really annoying backup track here. But you can see that she dropped her card, and because of her fucking nails, that, by the way, those nails are expensive as shit. It's a tattoo every time you get your nails done. Look at that. And for what? You can't even pick up a credit card. It's been 15 seconds. Thank you, Twitter. It's been 15 seconds, and she can't pick up her credit card, which is not a benefit. I guess it's good. I guess one of these for this reason. I love nails if you happen to use them on like nuts. But can I make this bigger? Come on, Elon. Jesus. Let's skip to where I was. She does. This is not going to be a good fucking episode. She's having a hard time picking this up. So it's been 21 seconds and she's still. Look at this. This is impressive. At this point, I'd use another credit card to just try to prop that one up. But they don't even show her picking up the fucking card. So what's the benefit of nails apart from doing this on my nutsack? Which is a great thing. If you've never had that done to you, I highly recommend it. Have your significant other put on long nails and just do this on your nuts. And you're going to have a really good time. But what even is that? So I was asking a girl today about them, and they're always proud of it. If you ever want to find something to talk about with a girl, they're always into their nails because of the amount of time it takes. They have to sit there. They have to wait for the little things to cure. You have to wait for it to dry. They're there picking out the different things. So if you compliment their nails, they're going to be pretty inclined to want to continue that conversation. And it gives you a good excuse to look at their hands and check if they have wedding rings, as this one did. And immediately the conversation died then and there. Although it's good practice. Even if they're married, you want to still sharpen your pickup skills. So even if she's married, you still want to kind of hit her with the sauce. I didn't because I didn't see it as worth it. I'm like, I'm not going to ruin this beautiful. And what? Come on, really? I'm there wearing a tank top. I'm wearing sweatpants. Am I really going to be picking up this shoddy at Suit and Supply? Ugh. Ben Shapiro says 3 hours later in reference to Magic Buzz that says Bob Lazar will probe you for $48. I believe that. It's like a 21andMe or 23andMe, but if you're fucking retarded, I guess. Although I'm not entirely against the idea of aliens. I did have one experience where I could have sworn I saw a UFO. And I wasn't under any sort of drugs. This was when I was a child, so you could probably imagine that there was some nefarious memory. But I remember clearly seeing this object in the sky bouncing around this light in a way that a plane couldn't. So that was an interesting experience. But logistically, it doesn't make sense. You're telling me this thing came all the way here, and there's no like credible. Every footage, even in 2023, is just shaky. And then it seems that every time any sort of government entity wants to mask another thing they're doing, they bring out stories about aliens. I don't take it. I don't trust it. So I'm out here being Alex Jones about this, and that I don't trust it. Stop putting chemicals in the water that turns the freaking frogs gay. Fuck. So nails are only good for nuts. Nails are only good for nuts. You could quote me on that. This little thing, it's immaculate, although it is a speed run. So if they do this and you're trying to last long, I recommend having them do that at the end of your session. Did you see the new Twitter tagline? I did, but I probably forgot it. It's something like on a blaze, like do something in a blaze. It sounds like a fucking grinder, to be honest. There's a magic tutorial teaching Leonard Green Snapdeal, and the whole guy has massive thumbnails, and the whole comment section is people roasting magician nails. It is hard, I gotta tell you. Nails are a little bit rough because I cut them very close to the cuticle, if you want to call it that. My goodness. And I still get stuff under it. I still get annoying little things under it. So I always find myself having to clean my nails. There has to be a solution that doesn't make me join the Dylan Mulvaney Club. Yo, when are you sending the backer updates? Well, I'm sending the backer updates this week because I was waiting on talking to Bicycle. Fucking Twitter playing videos in the background. Thank you, Twitter. I was waiting till I got back from Bicycle. And they got back to me last Friday, I believe. So this week, I'm going to send them all the stuff, and then I'm going to update the backers and send the surveys out. But I wanted to wait till then so that I at least had some communication line open with the playing card manufacturer before I actually sent out something just naked. So I know someone on Kickstarter was asking about it, but I'm updating. I want everything to be updated, but I want to not prematurely go into things before I need to. So I wanted to establish that line of communication or reopen that line of communication before anything. But people will get the decks, all right? The last thing that I want is for me to get a reputation where it's like, hey, Piggy, it's a year from now. What's up with the decks, man? What are you fucking like? I don't want to end up in one of those because I've seen too many card magicians that sell decks end up in that. And the last thing I want is to end up on that boat. So I definitely want to be on top of it. But I know people were asking about updates and I did message back a couple people. But as far as this, if you're watching this, I'm going to send out updates this week. Let me go back through here. Yup, Area 52. Oh, God, that just shakes me to my core. Did you know the Russian genius? Yeah, I know Vladdy. We haven't talked in a while, but I do know Vladdy. What are you sipping? Here's how you know that I'm hungover, because I'm sipping caffeine-free cola, Diet Cola, Publix brand with creamer in it. So I took a creamer and I put it inside of it. That's how you know that I'm pretty not well today. But speaking of not well, here's something that I brought up on the last episode in regards to a fight. And this is a famous video. It's old, but it is, I think, worthwhile because you don't want to get into a fight with a guy like this. I know it's very easy when you see somebody get into some sort of stance to make fun of them. No, you're dumb, because there's a high likelihood that if they're willing to subject themselves to the ridicule of the surrounding people by getting into some sort of stance, you're about to get your shit rocked. So I forgot what the context was before, but this video is pretty aggressive in terms of what the cholos are making fun of. And Homeboy comes back. So let's smoothly transition. Of course, there's no fucking audio. So the cholo is out here being a cholo. Look at this stance. Take a look at this. Now, before this video continues, so you have two options at this point, right? Either you're going to catch him and he's bluffing because he's getting into this ridiculous pose, or you're about to die. You're about to get a first-class ticket to Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's last game. You're about to get courtside seats to Kobe Bryant's next game. That's a better way of saying it. And in this case, spoilers, the likelihood is that you're about to get your shit rocked, especially if you're a cholo. And cholos aren't really good when it comes to martial arts. I hate to transition back here, but cholos, in my experience, they're not good when it comes to martial arts. They do a lot of like overhead swings, which isn't good because it leaves you wide open. And they also tend to hold their guard down, right? Or their guard too high, but not doing anything. They just keep their arms up here, but they're not actually using it to block their face. And when you see two cholos fight, it's kind of a battle of really who's more inclined to take punches. So it becomes who wants to essentially subject themselves to CET, CBP. What is it? What's it called? CET, the concussion-induced whatever. They want to essentially kill their wife, like Chris Benoit. So let's go back to this.
You want us to touch me again? Fool? Touch my homie again, yo, fuck you up, homie. You don't fucking know me, fool.
Yeah, it's over for him. See, they're making fun of him. He's mindful of his back. He's mindful of the other ones. Look at this dude. This guy doesn't even know. He's about to get a shit rock. Look at that. Hands up, cholo martial arts. At his waist. Yeah, good job. What's that going to do, buddy? He's a little scared, to be honest. But this guy, you could tell this guy, despite his goofy-ass stance, Homeboy's looking behind him. He's being aware of his surroundings. This is definitely a guy that definitely knows his shit. Okay, transition to some fucking dove. Okay, this cholo's. All right, finally some action here after a cut, and let's see. I feel like the cholo is actually more apprehensive than I remembered.
Hey, dog, you better get this dude on video camera.
You better get this dude. Yeah, your boy's about to get rolled right now, dude. Okay. All right, hit him with a backhand.
Jab you, Frankie. Keep going at that motherfucker, Frankie. Keep going at him.
Okay, now a couple things. I was wrong. I remember this video, this guy being a little bit more martial arty. I guess the stance was pretty, intense, but the swings are pretty cholo. But they worked. Look at that. And he hit this guy with, I think Ray Charles could have seen that punch coming. Look at this. Look at the telegraph here. This guy has his hand essentially at the car over here and then hits him probably in the side of the ear, just here, which is not the best place you want to get hit. One thing, let me see. One thing that I've recently come to learn is that you never want to cross your feet. Like, you don't want your feet to... So you want to make sure, boxers do this too, where you keep your stance and your feet apart so they don't cross over, so you don't trip on your shit. So in this case, he seems to not really care about that. So I don't know what that indicates. But it does seem like he has awareness of his surroundings, which is interesting. Why is this not fucking loading? Why is this not loading? Is this because I'm on Chrome? I think it's because I'm on fucking Chrome. This is why I always use Edge when it comes to this. I'm ready to just pack it. I'm ready to pack it. Let's smoothly transition here. Let me refresh the page. Let me go back to it because this is what I have to do using Chrome. Unfortunately, I'm using Chrome here because it has my Twitter bookmarks, which are pretty intense, I gotta say, scrolling through them right now. Yeah, there's some red flags there, definitely, but he got the job done. He definitely got the job done. Even if it might have taken a swing, a wild swing. Now, you could argue that he is doing one of these things, right? One of these weird Wing Chun sort of bits. But I've also seen a Wing Chun guy get completely decimated by a fucking MMA guy. So that tends to happen from time to time. Karate Kid, I guess, is what I had it here. If anybody has some more insight on martial arts, please let me know. But the punch is a little bit too wide. But the stance and the commitment and the attention, I think, is what lets me know that this guy at least took karate as a child. Let's see. This one, there's actually a deck. I'm sort of disappointed. I was paying for a scandal, says the Magic Buzz. Yeah, it would be, I guess, within the PigCake to, or the realm of PigCake to steal that money and then, go on like a vacation and you're going to see me in like Bermuda. Like with my feet up and shit. But no, the worst part is that I'm gonna provide the decks. So unfortunately, you're getting your playing cards, Magic Buzz. Xavier says, "Hi, Piggy. How's it going? You have a good one? I hope the heat hasn't beaten you and not in a fun way. No, the heat is unbearable. I'm hating this fucking heat, especially yesterday when I was drinking and I just had the dehydration of the sun with the added fucking Bloody Marys that I decided to have too many of. And I had Bloody Marys because I'm like, oh, let me have a drink that's gonna, give me some sort of other calories that are like pepper and spice. Those are gonna keep me up and alert and awake. No, they made the hangover exponentially worse. If more border agents did that fight post to deter illegal immigrants, it would save a lot of money on the wall, says Hungry and Hungover. That's pretty based, I gotta tell you. You're not gonna get the pin of glory because it wasn't too thoughtful, but pretty based. All the alien invasion stuff is a total hoax, a very good complot. I like watching compilations. Complot against us. So they decide to appear here after 60 years of Hollywood making movies about them, like the virus after 30, 40. Yeah, I partially agree to that. I think that there would be more evidence in the part of, I don't know, everything has a camera and everything that seems to be alien footage is shaky 360p footage from like rural Africa. It's kind of weird. Considering we have 8K cameras on Samsung phones with telephotos that go up to 150x zoom. So I don't understand what the bid is there. But it's kind of interesting that these dudes are now pushing it. So the government's at least admitting some things. But it also is being very general. Like, oh, we have flying saucer from space, or an unidentified flying object that we've got. There's a lot of generic things. That could be a lot of things. So it's not necessarily saying aliens. Going through here, it looks like Kung Fu. Think it's Jeet Kune Do. Jeet Kune Do, wasn't that fucking Bruce Lee's? I feel like saying Jeet Kune Do is almost like, oh, I'm an expert in ninjutsu. We watch Naruto Shippuden. Brainstorm in the Bahamas. That's a virgin reference. I gotta tell you, the fact that I recognize it makes me even more of a virgin. To be fair, in my martial arts, there's this one stance where you stand on one foot. I think you learned from the Karate Kid, to be honest. If you have a stance that you're on one foot, I feel like there really isn't a benefit to that. You're gonna crane kick. That's, I guess, the only one, unless you're fighting someone that really doesn't know anything, like Daniel-san in Karate Kid. I don't like that Twitter plays the videos automatically. That makes me very unhappy. So we have the nails. We have the gangster. There's some other nefarious ones that I can't show you because they're very politically motivated. But maybe somewhere down the line, I might show you my Twitter bookmarks. What else here? This one is a wheelchair. Oh, wheelchair is the next one. Now, this video is apparently from 2021 or 2019. One of those. And I would be in prison for murder. I think that this guy would be able to get charged with attempted murder. I looked it up, and it turns out that homeboy here is, they're still trying to find him, or they never had an update on the story. But this is one of those people that makes you want to just park in a handicap spot, right? Makes you just want to park in a handicap spot. They have a wheelchair anyways, so it doesn't matter what the proximity is to the front of the store. If they have a wheelchair, their legs aren't going to hurt. So this guy, I guess it might be some crazy homeless guy on a wheelchair. But if I'm a painter and you put me in this position, a little word of warning, this isn't necessarily graphic, but it is something that took me by surprise when I first saw it. Let's just go to it and show you. So we have a ladder here propped up against the building. We have some sort of rope and a very angry wheelchaired individual that is complaining that the ladder is in his way, which clearly it's not. The ladder is out of your way, and you made it into your way. But he keeps shaking the ladder until... Now, that guy couldn't have fallen any better. Let's be honest. I've watched enough wrestling of guys jumping off ladders and onto other ladders to tell you that this is probably the best case scenario for the painter, is that he had the ladder break his fall. So I don't know if we could play that in a super slow motion. But as you can see here, the ladder kind of breaks his fall. He lands essentially flat on his back, apart from the ladder. And on top of that, his head didn't crash on the concrete. So he kept his chin tucked up, which if you know anything about a break fall, speaking of martial arts, or a professional wrestling, it's called a bump. You want to keep your chin up so you don't bounce it against the back of whatever you're landing on. So this probably is the best thing that could have happened to this dude in terms of falling on this ladder. But this guy right here, if I'm able to collect my bearings, I assume he's still concussed because of the impact. This guy is, I'm going to probably stick my thumbs through his eyeball. I'm just going to do this and go, ah, and just shove my thumbs through his eyeball, regardless of his homed state. And you could hear him kind of going, ah. It's a South American country, from my understanding. I think Peru. Nope, I do not give a fuck. He's standing up on his legs, by the way. He's still propping his legs. Yep, you're dead. I'm killing you. I'm killing you at that point. The fact that man is there and he's able to get up. Look at that. He's able to get up. The guy checked on him. No. I'm practicing every wrestling move I've ever fantasized as a child on your old homeless ass. Not even a fuck given. It doesn't even, he has a nice watch, or what looks like to be a bigger watch here. It's over. I guess he's complaining about the fact that the ladder was in the way. But this guy still stood up and recovering. But boy, I'm sorry. I know it's very easy to put myself in that position. It's very easy to go, oh, see what I would have done. Let's see, you said No tailbone hit, no chin. Looks good. The tailbone, it could be debatable. You could fuck your tailbone up there. Also, you could have maybe gotten. Oh, come on. You could have potentially had a spinal damage, but I think that the way he fell was the best. And if you notice the arm, okay, I don't want that to keep screaming. That's kind of psychotic. The arm could have also broken, right? So had the arm stayed in that straight position, but the ladder bent it into a good position where he didn't necessarily break it. That's kind of impressive. Actually, no, never mind. I think he did break his arm. Yeah, he did break his arm. Never mind. Ew, gross. All right. Regardless of that, still better. Actually, no, he's leaning on the arm. Never mind, it's not broken. Yeah, homeboy here. Oh, yeah, there's a breakage there. Seems like it. Doesn't matter. At least I would have used one arm to try to squeeze your brain on the inside of your body. Elon, you're making this fucking hard on me. It's really difficult on me, Elon. My fucking goodness. So I don't know what you guys have to say about that particular video. My goodness. I'm looking at Ellen Page here. Back in the day. What a smoke show. Let's go through these. When I used to drink, I wouldn't hang over. I would hang on to 2 to 3 drinks down the gullet and good to go. That is true. That is true. What I should have done was maybe snuck in a couple bottles before and then maybe just had one that I would sip on. Painter knew how to take a bump, says Xavier. True. I mean, it looks like he got out of that the best. It's, you don't want to land on the back of your head. You get concussed. Your brain is scrambled. You're fucked. I remember when I was, when I got hit by a car on the motorcycle and I was kind of flown in the air. My main priority was not landing on my head. So I tried to contort myself so I wouldn't land on my head. Despite it being a very slow speed, I was still hit from someone that ran a stop sign, a dumb bitch. But still, it was one of those situations where I remembered thinking to myself, okay, don't crash, don't land on your head, don't land on your head. And I ended up landing on my hip and my ankle, which broke my ankle. But again, I prefer that than a scrambled brain. He telegraphed a punch, but the Cholo wasn't trained. And the weight advantage was huge, so all I needed was one big hit. So he did get a big hit in that one. And of course, the Cholo was doing the classic Cholo punches, which aren't really good unless you're doing that to other Cholos. X-Stag says, why we're watching these kind of videos? Well, it's because it popped up on my feed. And I noticed it, and it got me really aggressive in terms of anger. It got me really angry. That's a better way of saying it. Unfortunately, as I was on a ladder the other day, and, you have one person holding it, and they're holding it as hard as they can to make sure that it doesn't even fluctuate. You have idiots like that, a Karen, an old Karen that decided to potentially kill this guy. That could be attempted murder, even though it's accidental. Still attempted manslaughter at some case. Unfortunately, there's some weird, nefarious ground in that particular individual. But it just reminded me that had that been me and I would have gotten my bearings straight, my thumbs would be in his eyes. And that video would end up on one of these dark web websites where it's like, watch short man completely stick his thumbs and give a lobotomy to homeless wheelchaired man. PigCake, what would you recommend for a close-up magician wanting to do a talent show that's on stage? I know Cards Across plays well. What else would you recommend? Well, you want Pax Flat plays big, right? That's what you want. Depends on your time or what you have. If you have a camera, then that's going to change things up, because if you have a camera, you could have that camera show the things on stage, and you could have something small essentially play to a way bigger audience because you're basing it off of the reaction that the person on stage is giving them. But you still want things to play big. So something like an invisible deck would be good, because you could have multiple people from the audience come up with the card, and it's the only one that's reversed. And of course, the person on stage could verify that. You could do it in a way where you have some mentalism bits. There's just a lot you could do, but it really depends on what you're given. You have a motorcycle? What kind? I just got a 2011 Shadow. I love it. My dream bike is actually I think an 800, whatever is the CC size. That's above 750 for the Shadows is my dream bike. But I got a V-Star 650 with a faulty engine that I bought from an Argentinian man that ripped me off. And I, in turn, had to replace the motor, and the bike has given me nothing but issues since then. Right now, there's a drain that I have to figure out, a battery drain. I had to fix the carburetor the other day. a couple months ago, and I'm still having issues with that. But I miss my old bike. It was a small 250 knockoff of a Shadow, and that was way better than this piece of shit Yamaha V-Star. I can't wait to throw this over my head inside of a river once I get sufficient funding to replace it. I met Jeff Hardy when I was like 8. He was hanging out for the fans outside the arena. But he decided to go back to the locker room, and got one more, which was me. I feel like he wasn't sober. I feel like he was not sober. That's a good, what do you call this? A good guess of mine that when you met him, he wasn't completely within his sobriety. My bro has a V-Star, but not a faulty engine. His is so nice. You know, unfortunately, I got it. I was too hyped to get a motorcycle, really picked the first one that I saw on the lot that I liked, and that one ended up being the worst one that I possibly could have gotten. But as far as that is concerned, at least it goes pretty fast, quickly. So that's the only thing I could complain about. All right, the only thing that I can't complain about. Painter could sue for assault, as it does seem intentional. That's a good move. Your head is more important if you choose no legs or being special ed, but your legs are easier to compare to the brain. That is true. And I don't think I broke my ankle hitting the pavement. I broke my ankle because that's where the car hit. So as I was flying out, I think my ankle clipped on the actual car, which is tremendous. Can you swim, Piggy? I hope for you every side of the pool is a deep end. I cannot swim. Nope. Unfortunately not. I'm a Cuban man, but my mom did not teach me how to swim at an early age. And it's one of those things you want to get done when you're a kid, because it's fairly traumatizing to get thrown in a pool, not know how to float, and then learn how to do it when you have active memory. But if you're 3 years old and they throw you, you're not going to remember that. You might have some sort of latent trauma when it comes to water, but at least you're going to know how to swim. And I don't know how to swim, so I'm permanently wearing a life vest around any sort of body of water. And in the pool, I'm always on the short end, because at 6 feet I drown, at 5.5 feet I drown, 5 feet my just little lips are above the water, so pretty terrible. But I'm always on the shallow end. So let's go through here. My bro has a V-Star. Already read that one. Recently looking into old karate moves, some old Okinawa, and this is one of the moves where you have your thumb stick out in a fist so you could poke stuff. I feel like that's the fastest way to break your thumb. My bro has a Vulcan. Always mix it up with the V-Stars, but your 250, was it a Rebel? No, I wish it was a Rebel. If I had a 250 Rebel, I would probably bought another Rebel. It was a Hyosung Aquila, so it was a knockoff from Korea. PigCake knows how to swim in bitches. That's right. The only thing I know how to swim in is a pack of bitches, even though I don't like to call them bitches because they're not bitches. Only some of them are bitches. Speaking of bitches, this guy right here is a video that I saw. The caption is the caption is how not to take rejection. And this is it, my friends. As a group of mostly magicians, I would say that talking to females is a very important thing that we got to deal with. Despite our crutch of being magicians, right? Because we're magicians, we obviously have a social anxiety to any other situation that doesn't involve showing card tricks to people, right? So when you get rejected, you want to take it gracefully. You want to, as a matter of fact, have it not affect you. That's going to affect them. The worst thing you could do is give them something to latch onto. If your girlfriend says, hey man, I want to break up, go, yeah, all right, that's cool. Don't beg and plead. You know what she's going to be thinking? Why the fuck does he want to break up so easily? She's looking for a fight. She's looking for a struggle for you to try to go for her. And if you say, all right, that's going to drive her nuts. And more likely than not, she's probably going to end up coming right back to you after, I don't know, she's done banging the guy from work that she told you not to worry about. But same thing here, right? You get rejected in one of these scenarios where somebody approaches you with a fucking microphone. Just laugh it off. Pretend like it doesn't affect you. Make some joke. Don't start immediately listing out fake qualifications like this guy. This is a good one.
Bodybuilders? Yeah. I like skinny, scrawny guys.
How about multimillionaires? How about 8 inches and thick? How about talented? How about loving and respectful? I lost my wife 10 weeks ago. 21 years faithful. My daughter committed suicide 3 weeks ago. Oh, shit. 13. She was faster than me at 12, and I run a 6-minute mile. My testimony, I'm nothing but pure, and I ask you if you want to be in the YouTube channel. And you like scrawny guys.
I know he trauma dump on us like that. Damn.
Wow. Okay. You know, I only saw the beginning part of this video, but now I have fucking douche chills all over my arms because of that. So she said I have a preference for skinny guys.
Bodybuilders? I like skinny, scrawny guys.
Skinny, scrawny guys. She also looks about 17 years old. So this guy said that he had a kid, whatever. This guy looks about maybe late 30s, right? But obviously he used to be someone that used to take steroids. He has the roid belly, as you could tell from steroid use. You could see this in a lot of wrestlers back in the 90s. They would have what's called the roid belly. And this guy has it looks like he hasn't worked out in a while. It might be just a bad lighting, but obviously, if this guy hits the gym once, he's probably going to get an 18-pack. But again, laugh it off, man. You don't like skinny guys? Damn, man. My type is, blonde, underage girls or whatever you're going to say in this particular scenario. You really can't say much here. But this is definitely not it. What's he get into?
Bodybuilders? I like skinny, scrawny guys.
How about multimillionaires?
How about multimillionaires? So the first thing he drops is money. You don't want to do this. And as a magician, typically, I would say, money's not the first thing you want to get into. It doesn't matter how much you have. You could tell a girl that you have money silently. There are things you do, right? You pick up the bill, you pick her up in a nice car, you have a nice place. Those are things that you show, not tell. But to tell somebody you have money, you're already setting, that's strike one.
How about 8 inches and thick?
8 inches and thick. The next one is his dick. Now, the next one you don't want to get into is dick size. Because you get into dick size, and it's never what you claim it to be, right? It's never what you claim it to be. So whenever the topic of penis size and somebody happens to mention their dick size, subtract 2 inches, and that's their actual dick size, right? So I have 3, 1, okay. I'm not really going to say how much mine is, but suffice to say that it's never what they say, right? And they've probably had bigger at some point, which is the unfortunate downside of 2023. Girls are in this Tinder culture where they just go, oh, I'm just trying to explore myself. Meanwhile, explore myself means, being shackled to a bed by Tyrone. So then by the time they're 29, 30, they realize, oh, I've done this for too long and I'm going to settle with the most default looking dude in the planet. Ew, my goodness. But here in this case, you never want to mention dick size because you could have a massive dick and still kind of, be sloppy with it. And that's a really short dick thing to say, but I'm still going to stick with it. Let's go through the rest of them.
How about talented?
How about talented? Okay, another thing you showed or you don't tell.
Loving and respectful.
Loving and respectful is one that's great. You're clearly showing it in this particular case to being, not even rejected. He's not even being rejected in this case. And then here's where he drops the Oppenheimer.
I lost my wife 10 weeks ago. 21 years faithful. My daughter committed suicide.
Thank you, Twitter. I really appreciate you doing that. I don't know why you keep doing that. And this gets pretty dark.
Oh, shit. 13. She was faster than me at 12. And I run a 6-minute mile.
She was faster than... So he's talking about the speed of his daughter that unfortunately passed away, if that daughter happens to even exist. And he runs a 6.5-minute mile looking like that. I doubt it.
My testimony, I'm nothing but pure, and I ask you if you want to be in the YouTube channel. And you like scrawny guys.
Oh, God, that's rough. Meanwhile, this guy's going to take her home. Leo DiCaprio from Titanic is going to take that girl home. Oh, God. Talk about a barrel of cringe. Oh, that's not even the story here that I'm crossing out. But good. It's a good case study, that video, on how not to take rejection. You don't necessarily want to get aggressive and responsive as that guy did. You want to take it on the chin and be playful, all right? Because you could turn a rejection into an acceptance. Fuck. You could turn a rejection into a play at them if you're playful and fun-spirited about it. But if you start talking about your daughter and your marriage and you're faithful, there's a lot of bad ground there. I don't know if I'm the only one here. Rusty Shackleford says, hey, I just found you. I'm a big fan. Will you show us your dollar Post-it note trick? Yeah, I put it on Instagram. There's a hole in a dollar. That's the secret. I don't have the stacks on me here. I guess I do. But the secret is there's a hole in the dollar, but just not in the spots that I claim it. So it's here, right? It's an old trick. You get a knife and you cut this up. I don't know how I'm going to do this without Let's see. I'm going to do this by using a pen. But what you do is that you have a hole here, right? And you cover it with your thumb. And then when you fold the dollar, essentially, what you're doing is that this is what they see. So you could show the pen apparently going through, but it's just really going through the hole. You see that? Look at that. And then you could pretend to push it through whatever with a Post-it note, pull it all the way down, scrape the Post-it note off because it's already off of the bill, and then you could open it and, of course, show that there's no hole here, but the hole is here. You see that? It's a nice little fun one. This is fake money, by the way. Don't think that I got it this good by ripping up a $100 bill like it's nothing, even though technically this is spendable. So if you do want to send these, though, I know a lot about you, like why you're watching this ad. And it's specifically because you've looked up magic tricks. Well, hey there, my name's PigCake, and I've been doing magic trick tutorials on YouTube for the better part of 6 years. And I'm here to tell you about the PigCake Magic Academy with over 1,200 videos already uploaded, designed to make you an expert magician. You get access to all the content the moment you sign up, and I'm uploading every single week. As a matter of fact, I uploaded a video today. Just look at that list of moves, tricks, ideas that you're gonna get access to the moment you sign up. It doesn't end. As a matter of fact, I could stop talking completely, and the list is still gonna keep going. Just look. So check it out, the PigCake Magic Academy. The link is going to be below. I go with you, but I'm stuck in this video. But I'll wait for you to go ahead and click it. Go ahead, you know you want to. What a fucking hair. I missed that. It's going to take 1.5 years to get back to that hair, which I'm not happy about. I'm considering trimming. Obviously, right now, this is not my best look, but I'm in the awkward stage of growing it. Let's see here. Let's look at some comments. I don't want to skip them so people think, whoa, Piggy, all the fame has gotten to your head. You're a successful Kickstarter, your YouTube channel blowing up. This video keeps playing in the background. I told you from the beginning, it's not to be a good stream. I'm watching you and your videos since a while, and you seem funny and intelligent. I don't think the people here in the chat are here to watch you comment about these crap videos. Well, what else would I do? I don't know what else I'd do then. I mean, that's really every podcast. You have a video, you show it, you talk about it. You have a news story, you show it, you talk about it. What can I talk about here? What should I talk about? What can I talk about that would be to your liking? X-Stag? I want to know. I want to know what I could do right now to be to your...
You can stop at 5 or 6 stores, or just one.
Put this towards a new fake $100 bill, please.
We have an ancient meme, by the way, an Evan era. I need to replace that one. That meme is from forever ago. But Jack's Regret says, put this towards a new fake $100 bill. Yes, so that's going to knock off approximately 2% of that. And 98% left to go for that to turn into one of these real ones. I love, by the way, all these influencers that have like fake money and they pretend to, I don't know, give it to people or do things with it. It's $12.95 on Amazon to get like a stack this big of them. Let's see. Let me go through here. How do you feel about mentalists not being liking compared to magicians? It's like they get offended. I think that's pretty virgin-y if you get offended because of the type of magic tricks that you do. It's all magic tricks. Right? At the end of the day, it's all magic. So you're technically doing magic bullshit. So why care? Are you really going to be offended because you pretend to do mind reading things with magic trick methods? I think there are more important things to be concerned about. Imagine having a body like that and undoing it with negative riz. Yeah, he has a tremendous body, don't get me wrong, but that is the body of an individual that had several steroid cycles and then probably got off of them and then maybe lost some muscle tone. But that guy probably a bit ago was jacked uncomfortably, even though he does look like he can't take stickers from his lower back. Let's see. When wearing your heart on your sleeve goes wrong and viral, that guy's the most insecure dude I've ever seen. I agree. Bad election. Some people here are kids, but a few are grown people. I'm 40 years old. Speaking of 40 years old and elections, this is actually a perfect segue into this one. Hunger strikes. Don't do them. They never end well. So this is, I believe, a Democratic nominee for Texas. And he decided to go on a food and hunger water strike. Sorry, I said that like an absolute troglodyte. He decided to go on a water and food hunger strike, I guess, and a thirst strike. Now, here's the thing, right? When you go for a statement like this, how long would it be expected for you to go without food or water? I would say maybe a couple days. You know, you make your point across. Haven't had water or food for a couple days to try to bring attention to these issues. That would be a good time. You know, maybe if you want to kind of undersell it in the low end of the spectrum, I would say maybe an hour. An hour, a day. Oh, I'm going a 24-hour, whatever, even though people do that regularly. But you could say I'm doing this as, you know, to show solidarity. If you want to join me, please join me. And then start a social media campaign, whatever. This guy, Greg Kassar, out of Texas. Yesterday was incredible. I was honored to be joined in my thirst strike by workers in Texas and across the nation, and by lots of colleagues pushing for total federal heat safety protections. 9 hours without water or food, but I'm more energized than ever to get this done. 9 hours. And here there's a picture of this guy, some legs here. It's not too bad to look at. I don't know if I could zoom into the picture, but you have a monitor here, like a heart rate monitor, and some ice being given to this guy. I guess the whole bit is that he's outside in these 9 hours. I don't think there'll be much of a difference outside or inside in 9 hours of strike, I guess. But this is a little bit much, I gotta say. You could see the ratio here. Not to say that ratio is indicative of success. Sometimes, you know, internet points don't really mean much. But I don't understand what he was trying to accomplish here. 9 hours without food or water. And the comments are appropriately blasting him on the derriere. You could actually see a better picture of the monitor. And this, you can never run for president ever again. Because you are done, essentially. You're going to get made fun of. If you remember the guy, Howard Dean, his career essentially ended because he went, It wasn't a bad candidate. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't the best. But one video ruined his entire political career. This is the same for this guy. I can't imagine if this guy ever runs for president, anybody ever taking this guy seriously because he did a 9-hour hunger strike. Am I the only one here? Am I the only one? Right? 9 hours, that's sleep. Technically, when you sleep, you're fasting. That's why they call it breakfast. You're breaking fast, right? So, why are you going to subject yourself to this publicly as if you are doing something heroic? I could go outside for the next 9 hours and not eat or drink water. I mean, I'd be annoyed. I'd probably have a headache. Yesterday, I did it with just drinking booze, essentially, and I was outside for most of the day, from 11 to 7. So if I said, "Hey, this is my hunger," I'm not drinking water. Technically, I'm drinking something that dehydrates me in booze, and I didn't have food. So technically, could I have said that I was doing some sort of strike? Let me know. Let me know here. Maybe I might be a little bit redonkulous, but I think that that's kind of retarded. I'm sorry. I know I don't tend to use that word often, right? If you guys are fans of my content, I don't get emails sent to me. Hey, Piggy, you use the R word. The R word. Ill. A PigCake wrestle talk would be fun. Here's the thing, right? I am a huge fan of wrestling. I love wrestling. As a matter of fact, right now I'm missing Monday Night Raw. I hate wrestling fans. If there's a bigger group of virgins than magicians are wrestling fans. And their little podcasts where they've never done anything other than comment on wrestling. But then they're here like, oh man, you know, the problem with Roman Reigns is that he's not really getting over. Roman Reigns is not getting over. I think that he has too much heat on him now. It's like legit heat. And, you know, I just see all these marks. And they're using all these insider terms that are unfounded because you never were a wrestler. You never did anything. You've never done anything in the field other than be a spectator. And yes, you could spectate on things. You could, commentate on basketball and football and all these other things. But it makes you sound like a mentally ill virgin, I think. So every time I see these videos where these guys are like, whoa, dude, that's crazy, man. Look how much he's getting. What are you doing? They call wrestlers on a first name basis. So instead of saying, I'm trying to remember an example I saw on TikTok the other day. Roman Reigns, I guess his real name is Joe. Somebody left a comment going, man, Joe's really got all that heat. What? You don't know the guy. Shut up. So that's the thing I hate about it. They're really, really virginy, and they're really fickle, and they're just, the demographic is into some shit that I'm just completely opposed to. It's just gross to watch that and see these podcasts. Now, the podcasts that are wrestlers, the ones that are wrestling based, that are actually from wrestlers, those I'll listen to because they've actually done bumps. They've actually gone through the rigors of being a wrestler, which is not an easy life to live. It's like a comedian. Now, granted, it's a stupid thing to do. You're retarded if you're a wrestler. But, the 1% that makes it to the big leagues and make a substantial living doing it, fuck, you made it. You fucking made it. You're doing something that very few percent of people have been able to do in this simulated combat that really gets injured. Imagine when they were first doing insurance plans for these wrestlers, they ended up saying, "Oh yeah, you're just fake wrestling," Okay, speakers 50%. Okay. Are we back? Are we back? Are we streaming? Boy, if we're not, this is going to be in my fucking manifesto if we're not back. Start preview. 50%. Can I hear myself? Okay, I could hear myself. Ah, boy. Okay, we're back, my friends. We did it. My computer, as I've mentioned before, I connected it to a wish.com hub, and it completely fried my hard drive. So I'm running off of an external hard drive. I edit. Everything runs off an external hard drive. And apparently, I don't know, using Chrome and OBS was enough for my computer to say, hey, no, Piggy, that's too much for me. That's too much work for me. Fuck. Ooh, boy, did I want to lose my mind here. So now I have to go back to what I was. Okay, so I have reward, 9-hour fast, a rejection. And that was going to tie into another subject. So now I have to go back here. I have to open this up and I have to make sure because, unfortunately, my computer is that of a small retarded tree monkey. So let me go back to this right here. Let me copy and paste this. I better hurry up before Chrome explodes my computer. Now I have to go on Edge. I'm just narrating what I'm doing behind the scenes just to show you that I'm not eating garbage here. I'm actually trying to make this work. But unfortunately, they really want me using Edge. What a fucking joke. I'm just glad it's back. We did it. What's in that white and red bottle in the back? White and red bottle in the back. Let's see what you're talking about. Maybe cologne? If you're talking about that, then you're definitely talking about cologne. Although, I don't know which one in particular you're referring to. Okay. All right. We're back. He's back. We're back. Back. Who built your computer? Helen Keller. Should we start a new Kickstarter for a media setup? Well, if you have a shitty laptop that you at least has 32 gigs of RAM and you want to throw it at me.
6 stores or just one.
Dono for new equipment.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ed. I appreciate that. Ed Blitch. I have a P.O. box. Send me your shitty computer and I'll destroy this one on camera. I'll gladly do that. If, I don't know, you send me one of your shitty ones that you're not using, I will gladly do a Brad Christian and shoot my current computer because it's been, again, giving me nothing but issues. Like what I get, it's a nice revolving door of stuff. My motorcycle, my and they're all my fault, by the way. It's all my fault. I'm not blaming anyone else but me. Speaking of rejection, this right here is a perfect example of a magician under your table next to your pink shoes. Okay, so you're talking about that. These are colognes. The one that you're referring to specifically is black and white. It's a fake version of Tom Ford's fucking Fabulous cologne. So that one is called Fabuloso Intense and or Fabulo Intense, and it smells. It's the accuracy of the similarity of them both is retarded. You might as well buy that one. That one's $25. Fucking Fabulous by Tom Ford is $350. And this one lasts longer because they reformulated. So I think it's in my Amazon store, as a matter of fact. Your boy's also on Amazon, shilling colognes. But that's a really good one. PigCake, have you met Brad? I met Brad when they came down here to shoot the How to Read Minds kits. I've mentioned this before. I looked up to Brad Christian for many years because he was the head of Illusionist and, you know, he was in all the videos. And the first thing that I see Brad Christian say is, oh, hey, nice to meet you. I'm going to go take a shit. That's the first thing I heard Brad Christian say, which is hysterical. I think he means the ones that looks like a big bottle of lighter fluid. I know which one you're talking about, if that's the case. But you could see them there. That's the one that kind of looks like it. I can't imagine it being anything else. Oh, that is bug spray. Okay, maybe you're talking about the bug spray. I'm an idiot. That's not cologne. That's literally bug spray. It's perimeter bug spray. You can't see it there because I'm blocking it. But it's... I sprayed on the perimeter, and I sprayed today around, so I guess I left it there. It's not really a good sight to have, especially if you have a girl coming over. But luckily for me, I'm a magician, so that's a rare sight. This right here is one of the things I want to get into in this video. This particular video that I saw on TikTok. I'm warning you right now. The douche chills are palpable. You're going to be able to get the douche chills on you. You're going to just get the necks and the back of your hair standing up, especially in one particular moment. I get the friend zone, right? The friend zone is somewhere you shouldn't reside. Now, can you be friends with females? I think so. I have a lot of girls that are friends. Now, I've mentioned to them, if they put their hand on my thigh, we're fucking. That's just the way it works. But I see them as friends, right? I see them as friends. A lot of people think that you can't have female friends. I'm opposed to that. I think you can have a female friend perfectly easily. But I can see why that leads to conflict, because there's always this sort of air of, man, maybe, you know, if we're friends enough, this could work out. There's always that air in the background. So you really have to pick the right person. Now, this is a different thing entirely, because this guy went out of his way for this particular girl and dropped the bag. Dropped the bag. So let's go to it.
Met this girl at the airport, and we both happened to be on the same
She's fucking hot, too. My goodness. Got that, like, European vibe, too.
Met this girl at the airport, and we both happened to be on the same flight to New York City. So I asked her to hang out. I have no idea why I decided to dress up like a freaking rice farmer. We got along at dinner, so I invited her onto a rooftop in New York City, which ended up leading into one of the most awkward moments of my life. Why did you decide to go on this date?
A date? Is it a date?
I can't illustrate how much I wanted to yeet myself off that rooftop, but I'm very glad I didn't. I mean, hang out.
I mean, there's about 100 different ways to approach that particular situation that doesn't involve awkward silence. But
Because you're fun and interesting, I wanted to know more about you.
Mona and I decided to hang out the next day. I had this entire itinerary planned out of all these iconic things to see in New York City. And we only did one thing. We ended up being goofballs jumping around the Brooklyn Bridge for hours. We had a small dance competition at the Brooklyn Bridge. I tried the WAP dance. Hanging out with Mona was super cool because I haven't had my energy like that in a long time. By the end of the day, our time was up and she had to fly back to Berlin.
No problem. Such a gentleman. The wrong car?
It's actually been 7 months since we met. I know, my hair's a little different now. She's still in Germany. I'm in Asia, flying to the Philippines tomorrow. All of you guys have been asking for updates. We're still friends. FaceTime every now and then. To be honest, I'm just really proud I had the courage to go up to a random person at the airport because I genuinely met someone that I get along with that's really cool.
I don't know, my brother in Christ. There's no hope. There's no hope at this point. What's frozen right now? Something's frozen. Did I transition back to myself? Okay. Computer issues really plaguing me here today. My brother in Christ. No, I'm sorry. I think the intent there was definitely not a platonic relationship. This guy yeeted himself, not off of the building, but into the direct friend zone. And I don't think that was his intent. If his intent was to make a friend, then yeah, whatever. I don't think that was the intent. I think the intent here, as you saw from his earlier statement, is to date her, which is why he called it a date. And when she acted confused, he could have played up on that, maybe converted that into some other playful banter. But instead, he froze and remained silent and then awkwardly backed it up with, well, this get together. Ugh. And then on top of that, you have this entire day planned for this person that isn't giving you what you want back. And then she leaves to Berlin and you guys sporadically talk. You know? I don't think that was his plan. I think his plan was definitely to try to get something else from this particular individual. I hate those guys that are just there that put a phone in your face. You're just there to, you know, whatever. And they're. Could you imagine being friends with one of these people? And they're like, hey, man, hold up. Let me just record you here real quick. Haha. Hey, man, are you being crazy right now? Yeah, we're being crazy. Whoa, hey, guys, we're being crazy. Ha. And then they do this. This is every girl, by the way. This is every girl in Miami. You're not ready for this, but this is every girl. I don't know if it's the same in Ohio, wherever the fuck bumfuck you're from, but this is every bitch here. Add a lot more clacking with their long nails. on the screen, and that's every female in Miami. They don't care. They just go to events just to be able to post it and show people that they're at an event. They don't want to go there just for other purposes. It's kind of gross. Negative Riz says Rohan Clear. Yeah, if you're ever going to use a Gen Z term here, that would work perfectly well. What about a gay guy friend? That's a different thing because they treat him like a girlfriend unless they're one of these guys that's a secret agent and he's in there trying to, dig himself into the trench and then eventually say, hey, I am this way, but you really have me thinking about my sexuality. And then he's in there, right? Then he's in there. So homeboy's a soldier in disguise. But I think it's possible. It is possible to have girlfriends that are not sexual, but it's hard. It's definitely difficult, and it's not for everyone. Bro, you just described every woman in the Western world. That is true, I guess. Maybe I just see it more often here because, you go to a bar and it's just these girls going, woo! Ew. God. Be better.
Be better. Be better. Be better.
I think this breaks the record for longest episode without a be better. Neck on the back of your hair. Did I say that? Did I say neck on the back of your hair? Fuck. Hey, PigCake, do you have any linking cards? I'm practicing Immaculate Connection, but I've been doing Harry Lorraine's. I think the only one is Immaculate Collection. That's it, Immaculate Connection. That's the only one that I would ever do. That one where it's from Art of Astonishment, where you have that thing where you just do this and then the card is linked. That's the best one. People added too much complication. No, stick to that one. It's Copperfield did it on TV. Is that really, are you going to do a better one if Copperfield did it on television and got mounds of pussy from it? Diagnosis, troglodytis. Yes, 100% correct. Grass-fed Gary says he definitely wanted to get laid, but why would them stay in contact after that train wreck? And she's there without a shirt. She has her whole titty on your back. No. At that point, you have, you make your intentions clear, and then if they happen to be rejected, then you play it by ear. But in that situation, he had a very clear intent. She didn't reciprocate. That should be the end of that particular tale. But instead, he decided, the next day we had this whole itinerary. I had this whole itinerary planned for her. And then she left to Berlin. And then she's definitely with some fucking dude that's like, oh, you want to taste my sausage? Oh, what a hack joke. Go here. That guy needs to get himself out of the closet. It is a little bit sus, I gotta say. Nothing wrong with that. But the recording yourself, if you're a guy and you're doing one of these videos where you prop your phone up and you're like, hey guys, so today I decided to go with this H&M linen cotton blend. I got this Budweiser shirt from Target with fucking coffee stains on it and some paint. Yeah, so I decided to go under with a really low-key sort of vibe, and I'm going with sweatpants that you can't see from Cotton On because they were $10, and I bought 2 of them a year ago before inflation. Let's go, Brandon. And so that's my outfit for today. Please smash the subscribe and like for more content. You really have to do a introspective look as to reality if you do one of those, especially with overalls. Oh, I look like a farmer. I'm so quirky. Shut up. Fuck. That whole thing got me upset. She's outrageously attractive too. Just like a nice, cute girl next door. He's there with overalls, taking multiple videos, putting a camera in her face. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why she didn't reciprocate, because the entire time that you guys were hanging out, you're like, hey, let me get you here real quick. Smile. Hey, we're gonna go up to a rooftop. How do you feel about that? Do you feel good about that? Yeah, I feel good about that too. Have you ever been to this rooftop? No? You haven't been to this rooftop? Wow. We're having a perfectly organic conversation right now. Well, I'm going to show you this rooftop and you're going to like it. So how do you feel about this date? How do you feel about the date? What date? Oh, it's not a date? Was this a good episode? You guys let me know. Was this a good episode? I didn't feel it. I felt like this was a pretty awful one, especially considering about 5 to 6 minutes of it was dead time because of my fucking computer crashing and my hard drive going, hey, buddy. Beep, beep. Hard drive not connected. Beep, beep. Hard drive not connected. Really makes you want to punch a toddler. But how's this episode? Rated on a scale of 1 to 10. I think it's pretty bad. I think we've covered some good topics. We've gone through some things well, at least despite my condition. This one was, I guess, the last topic. That was a legitimate one. Reward, really. I guess that's one for tomorrow's show or maybe Wednesday's show. Depends on my schedule. Believe it or not, right? But embarrassing. What an embarrassing way to end it. I think it really holds to advice that I'm going to give you in this video, which is we live in a society. Right? We live in a society. When it comes to these things like this, you got to make your intentions clear. 90% of these problems stem from communication. If you communicate openly, you'd avoid a lot of issues. I tend to communicate a little bit openly, and it tells me who can I talk to, who can I not talk to. Things I could say to certain people I can't say to other people because I know that this person's a fucking blabbermouth, and I can't trust them. But communication is key. And let them know, hey, why did you tell this person? I told you not to tell him. Don't be afraid of communication. You're going to get a lot in life if you just communicate, if you talk normally, especially in relationships. And if you're trying to court a girl, make your intentions clear. There was a shawty that I was courting, and, she gave me a couple sentences in a text early on that were very, I would say like, oh, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And I'm like, well, this is what I'm looking for. If we could kind of meet in the middle, I'd be ecstatic. And then guess what? We met in the middle, and in the middle. And in the middle, and in the middle, and in the middle.
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
But it's the sort of thing you got to communicate early on. So you don't want to have this miscommunication because then it ends in a situation that you will never forget in your life. And not a positive one, a negative one, in that you tried to have something with this girl and you tried so hard and she just rejected you with one sentence. Oh, this is a date? Yeah, it's a date. Did you not think it was a date? What do you typically expect in dates? What was your last date? What's your fucking body count? How wide is your vagina? Let me know where your clitoris is. Like all the ones do here. 7 out of 10. This episode has been T11 quality. If that's a reference to a magic trick, that might be the most virgin one. This episode was hilarious because of auto production. 8 out of 10. Okay, I appreciate it. Hungry and hungover. 5-3. It's 5-3. Get it? Like my height. Fuck. Let's see. What's this one? Thoughts on Senate UAP/UFO reports. I bet those aliens have an amazing set. I already said it earlier. I think it's stupid. I think they're being very generic in terms of what they're disclosing. And technically, what they're disclosing is not necessarily admitting to aliens. They're admitting to bodies or, some sort of thing that came from space. That could be anything. That could be a satellite. That could be God knows what. But, you could admit to God knows what. And I think every time it's always been to sort of steer away from other issues that are happening. It's never a concise and condensed thing. What I want to know is I want the JFK shit released already. Why are they holding back on that? That's a little bit iffy. It's a murder case that ostensibly is solved, right? Lee Harvey Oswald, whatever. You can make whatever argument you want. CIA might have been involved. But why don't they release the information on that? There's so much redacted shit. It'd be very interesting to see. Especially, 50 years later? So I don't understand why they're being so secretive. Unless maybe there was some involvement that they're aware of. So that's the only thing that I could think of. But I don't really care much about the alien shit. I care more about things that are actually... you could see videos of John F. Kennedy getting his brain blown by the back of his head. Or through the back of his head. So that's the sort of stuff that I'm interested in because there's tangible evidence. I got a road trip coming. What album playlist do you recommend? Let's see. I'll bust out the last songs that I've added to my playlist. I've described my playlist as a homosexual girl that just got her period. That's my playlist typically. Although it's a nice mix of 80s of airy stuff. Fucking. It's a nice varied mix of 80s and what I like to call tiki music. Also sad girl songs. I'm a big fan of 1975. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go come see them in October. So that I'll read my playlist and you tell me if what you think of my sexuality. We have When in Rome, The Promise. We have K-Lax, Out of Time, which is a little bit of a hipster track about relationships. Tears for Fears, Head Over Heels. Drake, Feel No Ways. Aventura and Bad Bunny, Volví. We have Asking Alexandria, Alone in a Room. We have Todo de Ti, Raúl Alejandro, right? You got to have some, like, music that girls could shake their ass to. Another one here, which is a breakup song in Spanish, Viendo el Techo, which means staring at the ceiling. Jonas Blue, Fast Car. Nightly. I have Steven Sanchez, Until I Found You. Avicii, Nightly again. Let's see. These are all hipsters, like hipster bands. Nightly, We the Kings, check Yes Juliet. We have LeBrock, Call Me. Cutting Crew, I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. Robert Tepper, No Easy Way Out. I Can't Hold Back by my favorite band, Survivor. Michael Jackson, Rock With You, Separate Ways. Into the Night, which is by Benny Mardones, which has the best intro of any song of all time. Let me see if I could play this without getting copyright stricken. Let's see. So let me not play this too loud, but this has the best intro of any song, considering the music video, if you watch it. Let me see. Let me play this and then have you hear it. Wait for it. Nope. Can't play that because that's going to get me a fucking copyright. I'm waiting for the actual first lyrics. Thank you, Benny, for taking your time with this particular song. This song is the first one that hit number one twice, believe it or not. So this is the line right here. She's just 16 years old. Leave her alone, they said. That's not a good look, Benny. That's definitely not a good look. But Cutting Crew definitely has another one that I've added. They have maybe 3 or 4 songs that are good, but that's the main one. The Midnight, Los Angeles. The Midnight's one of my favorite bands. I saw them live about a year ago. I was fangirling like a bitch. So they're great. I recommend them. The Fray, How to Save a Life. Steve Perry, Foolish Hearts. Alejandro Fernandez, No Se Olvidar. Simply Red, holding back the years. Oh boy. If you ever want to have a cigar, you want to have a cigar overlooking the water. Maybe you just got your heart broken by a dumb bitch. You want to listen to Holding Back the Years by Simply Red. Machine Gun Kelly, Forgot Me Now. I hate Machine Gun Kelly. He's pretty lame. You know, does a lot of like pointless, edgy, satanic stuff that doesn't mean anything. It's just to get people riled up for no reason because it's not anything real. But he has a song called Forget Me. What is it here? Forget Me Not or Forget Me Now. Some great song with Halsey. That's great. I saw it live. He kills it live. He's a really good entertainer live. 1975, Somebody Else. We have FM 84, Running in the Night. Maybe I should just share this playlist. Right? Maybe I should share this playlist and just have people listen to the gay music that I listen to. The Killers, Mr. Brightside. Heat of the Moment by Asia. One thing, Heat of the Moment. Asia and Survivor were 2 bands that I wanted to see with the original singers. Both singers passed away, so there's no way that I'm ever going to see any sort of semblance of the music that I love that has gotten me through so many hard times. Justin Bieber, Ghost. David Guetta, Without You. We have Simple and Clean, Kingdom Hearts. The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, Asia. We have In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel. Loreen, Euphoria. Lumineers. Kyrie by Mr. See what I mean? It's a nice mix of like, we have Oasis here. That's a Peter Turner inspiration. So Peter Turner was the one that got me a little bit on Oasis. Japanese Breakfast, Be Sweet. Christopher Cross, Sailing. When We Were Young. Tame Impala. See, a lot of hipster shit. Blue October. We have The Midnight, Michael Bolton, Lionel Richie. 1975, Zed, The Weeknd. I don't have fucking music. I used to have a fucking playlist, but I realized fucking music is a little bit odd. But the weird thing, I don't think that I'm going to be able to share this playlist because I have, this is on the app. It's kind of annoying, but I have this app that takes songs from YouTube and I play that on my phone. So I don't know if this is going to allow me to share. Maybe I could put this public, but then that might put some info that I don't want out there. Let's see. What happens if I copy this and paste this? What's it going to give me? Let me go to Notes app. I know this isn't riveting content, but some people might actually find good songs here. I know that I've inspired some musical taste before with my period girl on her first period music. So if I share this playlist, what are you going to have? So enter a link to add it to your music. Oh, okay. So it adds. So if I click on this, what's it going to give me if I don't have the app? I guess I'll have to figure that out. But I might tweet it. Or put it on Instagram on a little story and have you click on it if you really want a playlist of really gay music. I saw Fall Out Boy. Do you like them? I have a couple songs, but nothing too crazy. What's the one? There was one that was my motorcycle hype song that I'd go fucking annoyingly fast on a motorcycle every time I had that going. It was the one, I Don't Care Where You're Going. What is it? Fuck, that's going to drive me nuts. I'm too hungover for that. There was a really good song from a North Korean defector who was kidnapped into North Korea and the South. I know that there was a shoddy that people are claiming lied about a lot of her stories from North Korea with amazing breasts. Let's see. Last concert I was at was Smash Mouth, where they still had Steve Harwell. That's a very, it's always shitty when you have a band that you grew up with and then they change. Survivor is one of those. Unfortunately, Jimmy Jamison died. I believe cocaine was the differentiating factor there. I've heard two Americans pronounce Tame Impala, and both times it's like lion taming, but they say Tame for some reason. No, that's a loser. They say Tame. It's Tame Impala, even though it's one guy. What is it, Kevin Parker? I think. What's the last song I added? I think that's a better determinant of what I'm doing. Okay, so these are the last 5 songs that I've added. In Excess, Never Tear Us Apart. Oh Sherry by Steve Perry. We Belong by Pat Benatar. Drake, Passion Fruit, and Summer Games by Drake. So those are the last songs I've added. So kind of, very iffy, I would say. But I'll share this playlist on my community. I'll end up doing that probably after the stream. So I guess some advice at the end of the video. I already gave advice on what to do if you're being friend zoned. Some other advice on wheelchairs and people in wheelchairs. Don't push ladders out of the way. It wasn't in your way, Mr. Wheelchair Man. If you look at the beginning of the video, you're an idiot. And I hope they do you for murder or attempted murder. 9-hour fast. If you're a politician and you're attempting a stunt, have it with a bunch of people that you talk to them with. Talk it through with a bunch of people. Hey, I'm thinking of doing a hunger strike. Oh, okay. How long do you want to do this hunger strike? 9 hours. Don't do that. Simple as that, right? It's as simple as that. Get somebody that's going to tell you you're an idiot. Don't fucking do that. That's dumb. People are going to make fun of you. Because then you have this guy that did a 9-hour water fast and food fast, and now people are making fun of him, and your political career is essentially done. You're always going to be the guy that essentially plagiarized a speech in 1992 or flip-flopped on all of your major political points since you were in the, power since the 70s. But that's beside the point. So that's, I guess, good advice. Everything else I've given throughout the stream. So I don't know really where to go from here apart from saying I hope you enjoyed this. I know that it was a pretty abysmal one, but we have one of these every once in a while. It keeps me human. I'll probably end up doing another one tomorrow when I'm feeling a lot better and not a hangover, so I could provide you actually good riffing content. Today I don't feel like I was on top of my riffs. But nobody's giving me a good way to end these. So that's another thing that I'm asking for. Give me something that I could end these with. That's a nice, emphatic end statement that I could make. That's not regarding Nancy Pelosi or something like that. So email me or DM me with potential ideas for that. But apart from that, toodaloo.